YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. If you're new to the fam, be sure to subscribe, tap that notification bell for uploads. If you're feeling the content, be sure to smash that like button. Definitely watch the video to the end to hear the full story. Let's get right into it. In certain environments, it's more likely you come in contact with certain kinds of people. What do I mean by that? Your environment definitely dictates your attitude towards individuals. For instance, if you come from a place where nothing is going on, people work, come home, speak to each other, more than likely, that would make the person from that environment kind of friendly and not too worried about strangers, outgoing to people they meet. But in some environments, when it's a person growing up around gangs, trappers, robbers, scammers, and hitters, it makes you look at people different. It makes it hard to trust as you go off what you see and learn that some people in the world are just cruddy or slimy and are not to be trusted. It's sad to say, but in certain environments, love and trust will get you hurt, even letting your guard down for a split second on the wrong person. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we will take it to Houston, Texas to discuss the case of a man named Javon Williams and what led to him being labeled by the state of Texas a heartless hitter. According to sources, Javon was a member of the infamous Treetop Pirus, with a big tattoo of the letter P on his neck, also other tattoos that would later come back to haunt him in his case, with one saying, "No face, no case." Allegedly, Javon would get into a beef with an associate, but brush it off. At least that's what Charlie Bennett Jr. thought. So when one night Javon needed a ride home, it wasn't a big thing. Charlie and his girlfriend, who was driving the car, picked up Javon, who got in the back seat. All seemed to be going good when they pulled into a parking lot in the 1300 block of Greens Parkway, where Javon allegedly started to apologize to Charlie about the argument they had the night before. But according to sources, just a few moments later, things went crazy. Javon allegedly pulled out a blick and shot Charlie in the neck before turning the gun to the young lady, letting off shots, hitting her in the face and arm. The young lady stayed still and played dead, while Javon jumped out the whip and ran. Charlie would not survive, but fortunately, the young lady would. She arrived at the local hospital and gave information and a description of the alleged shooter. Harris County would put out a bolo for Javon, but then, allegedly about a month later, Harris County police responded to a call around 6 p.m. to a man found gone in his apartment at 300 North Vista Drive in North Harris County. The victim at the time, Tonius Wayne Frank, 26 years old, had suffered multiple gunshot wounds to his body. Items were also missing from his home. Whoever did it even left his two dogs hit while they were in their kennel. Javon had eventually been caught for the hit and the attempt of Charlie and a young lady. While awaiting trial, he was charged again, almost a year later, with the murder of Tonius as well, with DNA at the scene and witnesses in the neighborhood stating that was the last person they saw the victim with. Prosecutors allege Javon went into Tonius' apartment looking for the right time to rob the man. Then when he was ready to make his move, he let off shots hitting the victim, even his pets, before taking electronics and other items. Javon would be charged with the 2 murders and 1 attempt. During trial, Javon's gang affiliation would be brought up, with his infamous tattoo that said "No face, no case." As prosecutors allege, that's why he tried to leave no witnesses in his crimes, but it would come back and haunt him because the young lady in the first shooting would survive. He would be facing capital murder charges, which in Texas carries a death penalty, but instead, the jury would find him guilty of the murder and Javon was sentenced to life in prison, with the judge labeling him a ruthless, cold-blooded hitter. Rest in peace to the victims in this case. I send my prayers and condolences to the families. More of this story, be careful who you trust. Watch everything a person says, the look in their eyes, and how they move. If you pick up on a bad vibe, fall back, because that could save you your life. Because some people are just cruddy, and the only thing they care about is what benefits them. So remember, we got to succeed, not to fail. So so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, crazy story, you feel me? Like I said, first and foremost, rest in peace to the victims in this situation. You know, the older gentleman who had got hit first, you feel me? I think he was like in his 40s. And I think him and Javon was actually cool. Charlie and Javon was cool. And somehow they got into an argument. You know how it be, probably something minor. And Javon just ain't want to let it go. So he allegedly lured the man in, asked him for a ride. And when he got in the car, he hit him. Then he alleged to hit Charlie's girlfriend. But she survived and she was able to tell police about who allegedly did the hit. Then he still was out. Then a month later, Tony came up gone. And they trying to say they was cool, you know, so Tony's ain't thinking nothing of it. He let Javon in the apartment, they kicking it, you know how it be. You know, he had some pets, you know, he had a kennel, and allegedly, I don't know what made, you feel me, Javon want to take him out the game, but he looked around, seeing some things he wanted, and I guess he felt like the best way to do it was to just knock him off, you feel me? Which is really senseless at the end of the day, and I don't know why he thought he was gonna get away with that. Now, as far as what he did to the pets, I don't know why he did that, you feel me? Maybe they was barking, maybe they was making too much noise, stopping him from getting away. But some people would just be on that type time. Like, they don't really care about nothing. They just be in the moment. They do what they gotta do for them to survive. They ain't thinking about nobody else. You know, Tony was 26 years old. His family said he was very loving, had his whole life ahead of him, had a lot of things going. And sometimes people be jealous of that. You might got somebody in your circle, you thinking they rocking with you, you thinking y'all cool, but the whole time they watching you, they side-eyeing you, they watching how you move, and they mad because they can't move like that. Some people want to move how you move, and you might be thinking like, I ain't got nothing, I ain't really got much, I ain't got nothing going on, and you might try to look out for the next person, but they take it as you trying to shine on them or you trying to stun on them, and then they get mad and they take matters in their own hand, you feel me? That's how it be, man. But yeah, Javon actually beat the capital murder, you feel me? Well, he ain't beat it. They decided not to charge him with the capital murder, but instead, he just got convicted of murder and got life in prison. But y'all already know, man, this is another episode of Hood Tales. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This your boy Tony 2 Times. Love, fam. I'm out.